Is this perspective serving you? In this episode, I share with you how I connect to my intuition and dissect my thought process using 4 questions to ensure that the perspective I am choosing is serving my highest good. Welcome to the Abundance Hack Show, where we are inspiring you to ditch the outdated beliefs, release the blocks, and fully embrace your sovereignty so you can confidently expand to allow more love, joy, and aligned success in your life. I am Niajae, your conscious accountability partner, reminding you that abundance is your birthright. Hey M&Ms, thank you for tuning in to the Abundance Hack Show. What are you manifesting in your life today? So I usually record my podcast episodes on a specific day and I have a process, but I was feeling really inspired to just hop on and just go ahead and record this episode because I'm feeling it and I feel like life has kind of shaken me up a little bit, and I want to share a process that I've adapted to like really help me dissect situations. So I'm very intentional in how I live my life and who I have in my life, where I'm giving my time and energy, etc. So I want to share with you this process. It's 4 questions that I invite you to ask yourself anytime you find yourself in a challenging situation, because I believe that we know what's best for us. I believe that the answers are within, and we're constantly looking externally for validation, for guidance, for answers, when really we have to go within. So before I dive in, where are you tuning in from? So wherever you are watching or listening, take a quick screenshot and tag me on Instagram. You can tag me at Niajae, Niajae, and you can also tag Abundance Hack, so at Abundance Hack, so I can share it and spread the love. All right, so let's dive in. So this podcast episode is all about perspective. Now, perspective is obviously a thing. You know, you have that quote, the glass is half empty, the glass is half full. It's the same amount of liquid in the glass, just 2 totally different perspectives. So I'm definitely the glass is half full kind of person, obviously, abundance. So definitely the glass is half full type of person. But even with that, no matter how positive you are, or how optimistic you are, there's still things that we can perceive as danger. And when we perceive things as danger, our brains are designed to protect us. So I had a situation recently. I'm going through some shifts in life. Like I feel like the universe, whenever I do some really hardcore manifesting, the universe shifts things in my life in a massive way because I take massive action. So usually shifts in my life are not subtle, they're massive. So I feel like there are some really big shifts happening in my life, and I went into protection mode. And when I say protection mode, because things are shifting, it throws off that root chakra, that sense of stability and safety. And so I feel like I have to go within a little bit more to protect myself. So when everything's great and everything's like stable and just flowing, I'm like, how could I articulate it? I'm more open and I'm more willing to speak to people and be around people and just, you know, put myself out there. And then when things are shifting and that foundation is a little shaky, I go into protection mode and I don't talk to people as much. I'm not as open and I kind of stay to myself a little bit more. And I'm an extrovert, definitely an extrovert, but there are times where it's like I have to self-soothe, so I have to self-protect, if that makes sense. So I went into one of these modes recently, still kind of in it, but something just like shook me to my core. So I went into one of these modes and I have this, you know what, I'll be really honest with you as I'm speaking about this, because this is just like me raw talking to you guys right now. When I go into this mode, I go into protection mode and I kind of shut the world out to a certain extent. Unless you're in my like really close bubble, I kind of shut the world out. And it's a process that I go through that I'm seeing now, maybe a little bit of a toxic pattern. And the reason why is because obviously I did this intimacy coaching to open up and to remain open. And then when I go into this mode, I shut everyone out. And even if you're like in my life and I'm around you, I still shut people out emotionally. And it's a protection mode. It's a self-soothing, self-protection mode of like, okay, I have to buckle down and look out for myself because things are shifting and I have to make sure that I'm okay. So the beauty in this is knowing that we are always going to be okay because everything that happens for a reason. So I think the lesson in this for me is not to close off, not to shut down, not to shut everyone out, because I believe when you shut out the bad, you shut out the good as well. So the thing that really shook me, so I went through a phase, I go through, and I'm being honest with you guys. You know, I'm always honest with you, but I always, when I say something that I feel like a normal person wouldn't admit, I always preface it with, you know, I'm honest and transparent with you guys. But I go through a phase where I kind of hate the world, where I'm just like, people suck, my friends suck, everyone sucks, my family sucks. Like, I'm being honest. So, because I feel like we all have these moments. So if I don't speak up about it, then I feel like no one will actually admit it. But like, these are toxic patterns that we can program ourselves to not allow to happen. And we can redo that toxic pattern and replace it with something healthy. And the benefit of that is when you don't close off, you actually see that there are people there for you. There are opportunities there for you. There are situations that are better than how you're handling it. So learning how to navigate through life's challenges without repeating the same toxic pattern. So I realize this is a toxic pattern of mine. When things are shifting and the foundation that you're standing on is a little unshaky, I go into self-protection mode and I block everyone out, and I'm just like, my friends suck, my family sucks, my like everything sucks. It's the most ridiculous thing, but it's like, it's literally my inner child having a temper tantrum, and this only lasts for like a day or two. But the story that I want to share, and it's a little personal, but I'm going to share it anyway. So I was talking to my sister, and because I'm in self-protection mode, part of me was like, I don't even want to talk to her about this. I don't want to talk to, you know, anyone except for like my partner. Like he knows everything that goes on in my life. I tell him everything. But I was like, do I really want to tell my sister this? And part of me was like, no, you know? But then part of me is like, no, I just did this intimacy coaching. I'm open. I'm remaining open. I'm not going to close off. I'm going to share this. So I share something with my sister. She shares it with my mom. And I'm just like, this is why I didn't want to tell her. But what's funny is because my mom and I have had a really roller coaster ride of a relationship. And I know that there was a day she said something to me and I was not in a mood, and I was kind of like sassy with her, and I try not to get sassy, but there's times where like I'm like, okay, this is my button, and if you push it, I'm not holding back, you know? And I was kind of in one of those moods, like normally I'm calm and I'm patient and whatever, but like this specific day I was a little irritable because, you know, like I said, things are shifting. And so on a positive perspective of that, when I know that I'm in that mood, me not talking to people is probably best. It's probably best. So when I go into that self-protection mode, it's not only protecting myself, but it's also protecting other people from my energy. So I'm not like, I have strong energy. Like I'm just like you feel my energy when I walk into a room. And so if I'm not in a happy, positive, bubbly place, it can affect other people. So I'm aware of that. So looking at it from that positive standpoint, it's like, I am aware of my energy, and I don't want to lash out at anyone or anything of the sort. So I just go into my like protection mode. However, I'm learning that the people that love you want to be there for you. And we paint these pictures in our heads of like, this person doesn't care about me, and that person doesn't care about me, and this person doesn't care about me, and no one's there for me, and no one ever shows up when I need something. This is a toxic pattern. And I have fallen down that rabbit hole more times than I can even count. So what I realized in this moment is when my sister told my mom what I had going on, my mom showed up for me. Look, I'm not gonna get emotional. I'm not gonna get emotional. My mom showed up for me, and no matter the conversation we just had where I was really sassy with her, no matter what we've gone through over the years, she was there and she showed up and she held space for me. And that really shook me to my core. Just because like we paint these pictures and we have these perspectives that are on the surface designed to protect us. However, what is it keeping out? That guard that we're trying to prevent pain, is it keeping out the love and the support and the nourishing, the nurturing that we truly desire? So powerful. This was like a pivotal moment. So if I didn't talk myself, because of my coaching and because of my training, if I didn't say, no, it's okay, you can share this, like be open, then I wouldn't have shared with my sister. My sister wouldn't have shared with my mom, and my mom wouldn't have been able to hold space for me in this moment. And that is so ridiculously powerful to me, because I'm like, the old me would have been like, nope, I'm fine, everything's great, you know, or I don't want to talk about it, you know. So like when we allow ourselves to remain open, and I'm not saying open in a sense of like telling people your business on social media, but like people in your close circle, people in your inner circle, you have to open up and share what it is you are experiencing and going through. Because no matter how fabulous someone's life is, there are going to be times where we're tired, we're exhausted, we're challenged, and giving people an opportunity in your life to support you, to love you, to hold space for you, even if they don't come in trying to like fix things, because that is sometimes that's not what it's about, but just holding space to be there and be like, hey, I'm here, you're not alone, is powerful. And here's another powerful thing that I learned with this situation. I've always wanted my relationship with my mom to be a certain way. I have a picture in my head, and because it's not that way, I'm like, I don't want it. When we do that, and this is probably one of the biggest lessons I have ever learned in my life. When we hold on so tight to the picture that we have, and we dismiss and disconnect and disregard anything other than that picture we have in our head, we're robbing ourselves of abundance. We're robbing ourselves of the situation being even better than we could have imagined. Even better than we could have imagined. When we release control and we allow things to fall into place how they're meant to, because I believe in divine guidance, I believe in divine timing, we open ourselves up to the situation being even better than what we imagine. But the key is to remain open and remain grateful and optimistic. I do believe remaining optimistic. So Abraham Hicks says the more excited you are about this segment, the better the next segment is going to be. So I'll give you an example of looking for a house, for example. Say you're looking for a house and you're like, okay, this is my dream house. It has to look exactly like this and this, this, and this. So our higher selves knows exactly what we need to live our purpose, to step into our power, to step into our sovereignty, to be the best version of ourselves. Our humanness only sees what's right in front of us. So you may be thinking, this is the perfect house for me and I want it to look just like this and this, because that's your humanness seeing what's right in front of you. But you may have an opportunity or something shift in your life in 5 years from now. There may be another house that's even better than what you imagined just in your normal conscious state that fits better. And so if you, rather than getting bummed, oh, I'm not finding this perfect house, and I'm using the house metaphorically as an example. I mean, maybe someone's looking for a perfect house and this fits too. But if you're fixated on it has to be this way, then you rob yourself of it being even better. Because what I've started saying, rather than saying like, I want this, I say I want this or better, or I want what's going to make me happy or fulfilling and for my highest good. So then it opens up this world of possibilities of it being even more amazing and magical than what my humanness could conceive of right now, of what's in front of me. And it's so powerful when you can release the resistance and allow things to unfold the way they're meant to. And I'm stubborn, you guys. I tell you all the time. So I resist. I fight against everything. I challenge everything. Like it's in my nature. I don't know why. I don't know what about me makes me that way, but I do challenge everything. But the beauty in that is I show up in a bigger, better way, because when I show up, I have gone through every reason as to why I shouldn't show up. So when I do show up, I'm giving my all. And that's how I am in friendships and relationships and everything. I push people to be better. And that is something I actually had, and I've mentioned this before, I actually had an energy healer, or it's a lady that does Akashic records. So I don't know what you would necessarily call her, but I did a reading and she says like, your purpose is to show people that there's bigger, there's better, and push them to be better. And so me challenging people and things, it's in my nature because it's part of my purpose. But the beauty in that is that I'm pushing people to a point that they never thought that they would be able to get to. So helping people discover the power within them. And in order for me to do that, I have to do that for myself. So what I did was I created 4 questions. Now, I love this process because, you know, I did an episode on Byron Katie, The Work, and she has 4 questions that she asked, but I tweak things to where it fits me. So I came up with these 4 questions, and it kind of stems from what I heard Abraham Hicks say one day when I saw her live, and I love Abraham Hicks, but combining the work from Byron Katie and her process of ask yourself these 4 questions, and then take an inspiration from a question that Abraham says to ask, and then I just expanded upon it with all of the inner work that I've done. So let's dive in. So the first question is this perspective serving you? So I tell this story because I use it as an example of like, I got to a point where I'm like, I'm never gonna have the relationship with my mom that I want. So like, I'm over it. I don't want it. I don't want any relationship because it's not the way that I want it to be. So in my head, my perspective was, there's nothing that I can do to fix this. I've tried everything in my power and nothing works. And that was my perspective. So if I ask myself, is this perspective serving me? No, because what I really want inside is a relationship with my mom. and allowing it to take whatever form it's meant to take. But when I'm in a certain mood, I can't see beyond my humanness. And I say humanness, I don't know another way to articulate that, but kind of seeing what's directly in front of you. So this is why sound therapy is really, really powerful, because when you go into that theta state, or meditation, so meditation, you go into a theta state, and when you go into that state, it takes you into a higher level of consciousness. So you have that eagle eye view of what's actually happening. So rather than just only seeing what's right in front of you, you're seeing a bigger, wider picture. And the more you do it, the more you're going to expand to be able to see more. So that's why I'm even able to see my own toxic patterns, because of all of the sound therapy that I'm doing, because of all the inner work that I'm doing. So that's why I'm sharing this with you guys, because sometimes we're not aware of our stuff. And when you have that solid morning practice, journaling, meditation, sound therapy, it is helping you see, oh, well, this is why my relationships are this way, because I've been doing this all these years, or I have this pattern and I shut down when this happens. So when you're aware of that, then you can adjust accordingly. So if what I really want, I value connection, I value relationships, I value support and nurturing. And when I get in these modes and I'm like, I don't have any support, it's because I've pushed everyone away. But I didn't see that for so long. And so that's why I'm like, okay, I have to share this, and I have to share it now, because I just was like, it just this huge light bulb of like, huge light bulb. We create our reality. We create our reality. Okay, so I know I'm getting off topic, but these 4 questions, it's powerful, but I have to apply it to my real life so you can see how powerful it actually is.
If you were looking for a sign, here it is. This is your reminder to not settle, to know your worth, and to follow your bliss. This is a reminder to maintain alignment and show up in your fullest expression. Abundant and Aligned Society is an accountability program to remind you that you are a powerful being and you deserve to live the life you truly desire. Go to niajae.com/society to join in on the magic, because life is meant to be abundant.
Okay, so first question, is this perspective serving me? So ask yourself, is this perspective serving you? The second question is, how is this perspective trying to protect me? How is this perspective trying to protect me? So with the situation with my mom, it's trying to protect me because our egos flare up to protect our inner child. So I've always shared that in the podcast, that I don't believe ego is a bad thing. I believe ego is designed to protect our inner child. My inner child was hurt at a lot of things my mom has said or done to me. So for this specific situation in my life, this perspective was trying to protect me so my mom doesn't hurt me again. So my inner child isn't feeling like, my mom doesn't love me, like whatever it is that you felt as a child, if you don't heal from that, you repeat that same feeling in your adult life. And even if you do the inner work, I'm finding there's still things that trigger that. So it's like this imprint in your heart, and we store these things at a cellular level. So one of the things that I've started doing in my life to heal at a cellular level is I place the sound bowls on my body and I talk to my inner child. And I know I'm getting kind of deep here, but it's so powerful. So I say to my inner child, you're okay, you're safe, So we go into defense mode when we feel our safety is threatened, and not physical safety, but like our emotional safety, protecting our heart. We go into defense mode when we are trying to protect ourselves. But if we calm our nervous system and we talk to our inner child and we let our inner child know, you're okay, everything's okay, you're going to be okay, you're safe, it prevents us from feeling like we have to go into that defense mode. We have to go into that fight or flight. And this shows up in everyone a little different. So this is just my specific situation, but we all have a nervous system that kicks into gear anytime there's a jolt or something triggers us. So the more you can calm your nervous system and say like, it's okay, you're safe. Now, obviously, if you're in a situation like, and you're actually threatened, that's different. But in relationships, like romantic relationships, and I'm not talking about like relationships where there's any kind of severe trauma. This is just normal, healthy relationship. When we're triggered, it could be jealousy, it could be fear of being left because we had abandonment issues, like any of these things that are triggering. When you can speak to your inner child and let your inner child know you're okay, you're safe, that will start to calm your nervous system. So now when something happens, you're not in attack mode, you're not in fight, flight, or freeze mode, you're not in panic or anything of the sort. You're able to handle and approach and navigate the situation in a graceful, aligned way. And that's really powerful. So when you have situations that you feel defensive and you feel triggered or you feel betrayed, ask yourself, how is this perspective trying to protect you? All right, question number 3 is, how is this perspective holding you back? So with the situation with my mom, my perspective was, I'm never going to have a relationship with her that I want. So how is this holding me back? It's holding me back because I'm not giving the relationship time to blossom into what it's meant to be. So maybe it's not going to look this way. Maybe it's not going to look like butterflies and rainbows, because I like butterflies and rainbows. Maybe it's going to look like flowers, but flowers are pretty too. So allowing things to fall into place how they're meant. So if there's resistance, if there's discord, it's because there's either a lesson or we're being redirected. So really paying attention to that, like, how is this perspective holding you back from where the universe is trying to take you, where the universe is trying to guide you? How is this perspective holding you back from learning a lesson that you're meant to learn? So one of the reasons I hired an intimacy coach is to have deeper connections in my life. And what other relationship is the most meaningful than the one you have with your mom? So like a lot of times that is the foundation for every other relationship in your life, your mom or your dad, like your parents. That's why we do so much inner work and inner child work, because our parents have such a huge impact on us and how we are in relationships. All right, so question number 4 is, what perspective serves your highest good? What perspective serves your highest good? So we make choices. We make choices every day. So we're divinely guided, but we make a choice every single day when we wake up to either follow the guidance or resist the guidance, So like, what is serving your highest good? I can make the decision to completely not have a relationship with my mom. Is that serving my highest good? Is it serving my highest good? So this question is really deep. So when you ask yourself this question, I invite you to dig a little deeper, peel some more layers back. So I have a couple of extra questions that you can add if like the answer doesn't just come, because sometimes we have layers of pre-programming and fear and pain and doubt and all of these different layers. So if you have to dig a little deeper, ask yourself, am I choosing the easy way out? Am I choosing the easy way out? This is a powerful question, because easy doesn't build character. Easy doesn't strengthen you to step into your power and sovereignty. It's usually the challenges that you face head on that gives you that resilience, that gives you that grit, that gives you that fire and that strength to go to the next level. So really ask yourself, am I choosing the easy way out? Now, discernment is extremely important. So there's certain situations where you're just like, this is just not for me. It's not for me. It's not for my highest good. Period. Honor it, you know? But in a situation with my mom, I know that my most challenging relationship in my life, if I can learn to be in a beautiful place in that, I will have conquered the biggest challenge, I feel like, of my life. So am I choosing the easy way out by just saying, nope, I'm done, and not having a relationship with her? Or do I face this head on and say, all right, I've tried over and over and over and over again, but I'm going to try one more time. And if that doesn't work out, muster up some courage and try one more time. And I think that it's so powerful. So the next question, after you peel the layer back, so this is all question 4, but just extra layers of it, because sometimes you don't need to go to these extra layers, and sometimes you do. So just having a couple extra, if what perspective serves your highest good doesn't just come naturally, and you need to peel some extra layers back. So the next one is, will this challenge help me grow? So sometimes there are challenges where it's teaching you like, okay, you have to get over this so you don't keep repeating the same pattern. And then there's some challenges that are really meant to teach you something so you gain a skill or a piece of wisdom or a piece of knowledge that you need to step into your power and sovereignty. So asking yourself, will this challenge help me grow? And continuing to work on my relationship with my mom, is it going to help me grow? Hell yes. Do I want to deal with it sometimes, especially when I'm going through shifts in my life? No. But knowing how to navigate challenges, even when things are shifting, is a powerful lesson, because things are constantly shifting. We could think we have everything together, and then a pandemic happens and it shifts everything in our lives. So can we shut people out when that happens? I mean, we can, but is it healthy? Is it helping us grow? Is it serving our highest good? Woo! You guys, do you see the power in this? Like, this all came to me today. Download. It all came to me today, and today's not the day that I usually film podcast episodes, but I'm like, this is so good. I have to film it now and just be in this essence. So, quick recap. When you have a situation and you have a specific perspective, you could be sold on this perspective. I invite you to ask yourself these 4 questions. Number 1 is this perspective serving you? So ask yourself. So I'll say it as if, like you're saying it to you. So is this perspective serving me? And journal this and really sit with the answers. So this is how you go within rather than going externally, searching for the answers and searching for validation and searching for guidance from the world, as opposed to yourself, your inner voice, your higher being. So question number 1 is this perspective serving me? Question number 2 is, how is this perspective trying to protect me? How is this perspective trying to protect me? Number 3 is, how is this perspective holding me back? And these are powerful journal prompts that you can use in any situation. So business, relationships, taking chances. Like, if you say, I can't do this because, anything you say you can't do. Let's just say you want to start a business. I can't start this business because. Take these 4 questions and answer them around that. Is this perspective serving me? How is this perspective trying to protect me? How is this perspective holding me back? Woo, you guys, I got chills. And then the 4th question is, what perspective serves my highest good? So not my humanness right now, because, okay, this is a little scary. This is a little, daunting. So maybe right now I don't think this is good for me, but my highest good. So peeling the layers back with that question, am I choosing the easy way out? Will this challenge help me grow? So these are really powerful questions. These are powerful, powerful, powerful journal prompts that I invite you to journal on, or just, you can think. Everyone process is different. I'm someone, obviously I have a podcast. I talk my issues out. So me being able to speak to someone and answer these questions, or even voice memo record it, that's the best way for me to process feelings and emotions. The next way is journaling. So journaling and answering these questions. And so you figure out how you process the best. Some people do it within their heads and during meditation. And, I think introverts may need to process in their head. Me, I'm an extrovert. My information needs to be out of my mouth, and or even writing is very therapeutic for me. So yeah, everyone process is different. So figuring out what's the most effective way for you to process and answer these questions. But yeah, I just this came to me today, and I'm just like, this is so powerful, because we all have challenges. We all have things in our lives. Like, no matter how fabulous someone's life is, they are dealing with some type of challenge. So how do we navigate these challenges with grace and get back to a place of abundance and alignment? And when I say alignment with your highest good, like that, to me, that's what it means. You're living intentionally for your highest good, and a lot of times for the highest good of others, because we are sent here with a purpose. So if you're living your purpose for your highest good, automatically that's gonna be the highest good for others, because if you're sharing your gifts with the world, you're sharing your voice with the world, you are serving your purpose. So it is for the highest good of others. So as long as you are living and operating from a place of alignment, is for the highest good of everyone. So I hope you found value in this. Wherever you're tuning in from, definitely screenshot and tag me on Instagram. Let me know if you found this powerful. Let me know how this resonated and landed with you. And I just want to encourage you to keep showing up and remain open. This is something that was really hard for me. And, being really honest with my intimacy coaching, like after the 3 months came to an end, I was faced with a challenge to close or to remain open. And I chose to remain open. I still had some toxic patterns come up, but I chose to remain open, and I see the difference in my life because of that. And it's not easy. It's not easy to remain open when our egos and our thought patterns and our brain is trying to protect us and saying, no, danger, like push everyone away and go into your little bubble, or I think of a turtle shell. Is there a name for a turtle shell? But go into your shell. Instead of doing that, remaining open and trusting. So it really starts with inner trust, trusting yourself. Like, okay, I'm going to remain open. I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to share this with my sister. I'm going to, speak to my mom, because I trust myself. I don't know what they're going to do or how they're going to react, but I trust myself, and I know that I can handle anything that comes up. And so really that's a powerful key of the protection part. You're trying to protect yourself, but do you know how strong you are? Do you know how resilient you are? So when you realize, like, okay, I can keep trying, I can keep, and I say falling on my face lightly, but like I can keep falling on my face because I know I'm going to get up. And that's a powerful thing to embrace within yourself. You can keep getting your heart broken, but you're going to keep trying to date and keep trying to love and keep trying to find that one soul shaking, mad, passionate love. Like, keep trying, remain open, because that next time could be the time that just really blows you away. And this is a business quote, but I think that it applies in life, period. So Robert Kiyosaki says, 9 in 10 businesses fail, so you just have to start 10 businesses. I literally I love that quote so much. So this was a quote that I actually, I'm a serial entrepreneur, but when I was in the thick of my entrepreneur days, I just kept telling myself 9 in 10 businesses fail. So that just means you have to start 10 businesses. So in other words, keep trying. So if you dated 10 people, if you went on 9 dates and they all sucked, don't go into that 10th date feeling beaten and battered and bruised and negative. Go into it optimistic, because that could be the love of your life. So that applies with business, that applies with relationships, that applies with taking chances. You have to keep trying. So I always tell the story of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan did not get accepted to his first basketball team tryout. And if he would have given up because he quote unquote failed that first time, he wouldn't have become the greatest basketball player of all times. He kept trying. He kept trying. He remained open. He remained focused. He remained intentional and operated from a place of alignment rather than fear. That's why it's so important to be aware of your thought patterns. Are you operating from a place of fear and you're just trying to survive? Or are you being intentional to maintain alignment so you can thrive? Woo! You guys, so good. So good. Screenshot and let me know that you are feeling me, because this was so good. All right, you guys, I hope you found value in this. This was a huge aha moment for me. And like I said, today's not even a day that I record the podcast episodes, but when it hit me like a truck, and I'm like, I have to share this with the M&Ms right now. So I hope you found value in this. Definitely let me know. I want to hear your feedback. I want to know that you are finding this powerful and it's making an impact in your life, and you're actually integrating this into your life. So when you find yourself with a challenge, when you find yourself in a situation, ask yourself these 4 questions. I promise you it will change your life. And at first it may be a little uncomfortable, but it becomes second nature. Now I can do it easily. I can go through all 4 questions in my brain quickly. Before I had to sit and I had to get in the zone and but now boom, boom, boom. And I'm just my brain, it's all about reprogramming your subconscious and updating your belief system. So now I don't even go to those places. I don't even go to those rabbit holes anymore, because I've trained my brain to not go down that rabbit hole. So when I find myself okay, this is a really shitty perspective, and I boom, 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 ask myself these 4 questions, and I'm shifted and looking at things from a positive perspective. Now, do crappy things in life happen? Yes. So certain things are going to be more challenging than others, but there's always a lesson in everything. There's always an opportunity to grow and expand. All right, M&Ms, I hope you found value in this. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, be decadent.
If you found value in these 4 questions, join Abundant and Aligned Society for more journal prompts, guided meditations, and sound therapy recordings to help you navigate life's challenges, maintain energetic self-care, and operate from a place of alignment. Go to niajae.com/society to join in on the magic. Thank you for tuning in to the Abundance Hack Show. I would love to hear from you. Leave your comments and questions, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our yummy episodes. Every time you leave a 5-star rating or review, I do my happy dance.